Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session on ZQA now. So, till now we have been talking about CAT, and finally CAT is over on 29th of November. So now obviously we move on to the non-CAT exams. So non-CAT may we have obviously the biggest exam in the non-CAT category, I would say, is ZAT. So apart from that, we have IFT, we had TISS, we have MyCat, and I mean there are many such exams which are over there, right? So ZAT is the biggest one among them. So CAT may generally the population is around 2 lakhs, 2,27,000 people appeared this year. But in ZAT this figure is somewhere around 1 lakh, I suppose. Okay. So मतलब CAT के बाद if I look at the size of these exams, so largest is this only. So we are going to talk about the ZAT today. Hi, good evening, Rahul. So we have this series of sessions in which we'll be talking about the sections of ZAT only. This time we have a series of 5 sessions. So in those 5 sessions, we'll talk about the ZAT QA, and after that we have another one lined up for it, which is IFT series. Okay, and there we'll have 5 sessions where we'll be discussing IFT QA. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to talk about. So we'll just start in another 20-30 seconds, guys. So I'm just waiting for other people to join. And I have some slight issue in my internet, so I'll just take 20 seconds to rejoin. हाँ जी. So I'm back now. So let us start discussing. So what are we going to do? Let me just give you an idea about that first, that what are we going to do in these sessions, guys. So in all these sessions, we are going to discuss, abhi to currently we'll be discussing ZAT QA. Okay. So in every session, I'll bring one section of ZAT 2020, and then 2019, then 2018, then 2017. That way we'll be moving with it, right? So similarly, we'll be discussing then IFT as well after this, right? Section wise. So I'll be telling you that how to attempt that particular section in the paper, right? So वहाँ पे कैसे करना है, how do you clear your cutoff, and what should be the right approach of doing the questions. This is all that we are going to discuss in it. Okay. So yes, we have more people joining in. Hi Archit, good evening. Following you since you were in CL. Oh, that's my pleasure, I would say. Hi Suman Roy, good evening, and good evening Vaibhav Singh. Okay. So I think we can start discussing it now. ठीक है, शुरू करते हैं कि क्या क्या करना है हम लोगों को आज. So I have this QA section. So first of all, if I talk about ZAT QA, that is 2020, पहली बात तो ये समझ लीजिएगा that when I say CAT 2020, that means the exam that just we appeared for. And if we are appearing for ZAT in January now, that would be called ZAT 2021. So there is a gap of 1 year in these. So the year you prepare for CAT 20, you actually prepare for ZAT 21. When you will be preparing for CAT 21, you will be appearing for ZAT 22 along with that. So when I am saying I'm discussing ZAT 20 with you, so ZAT 20 is that ZAT that was held this year in January, right? अभी हम दिसंबर में हैं. So in January, whatever exam was held, so I'm talking about that exam. So obviously that was for the batch 2022. people who entered into XLRI or the other colleges for MBA, तो जो 2020 में whoever entered, right? So उन लोगों के लिए it was the paper. Hi, good evening Siddhi Sharma and good evening Prathamesh. तो उस एग्जाम की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन द एग्जाम, सो देयर वर a total of 76 questions if I'm not wrong. There were 3 sections. One section is verbal ability and reading comprehension. One section is quantitative ability and data interpretation. So this is important that in XAT you have QA and DI together. And one section was DM plus LR or AR, whatever you call it, decision making plus analytical reasoning. But in Z20 it was all decision making. I think there were some 21 or 22 questions in decision making. In QA plus DI, I think there was some 26-27 questions. And in verbal ability and logical reasoning, the number of questions was around 22-23. So in total there were 76 questions in Z, right? In Z 2020. So I did not appear for Z 2020. I have appeared before that for the other Zs. So I have not appeared, so I don't somehow remember these questions, though I saw these before this session, but I'm a forgetful man. So अब मैं भूल जाता हूँ, उम्र आ गई है, अब याद ही नहीं रहता है. हाय गुड इवनिंग अविनाश. ये सब मैंने देखा था एक बार कि कितने कितने क्वेश्चन आए थे, सब मेरा दिमाग से उड़ गया. गुड इवनिंग रंजना. Anyways, so you can find it over the internet as well. The point is that CAT, I feel this is the only exam apart from CAT in which you will find that the quantitative ability would be difficult, I mean more difficult with respect to CAT, right? Decision making is not there at all. Decision making to aata hi ZAT mein hai, right? And when I say verbal ability and reading comprehension, so level of ZAT's VARC is almost similar to that of CAT. ठीक है. सो दैट मीन्स यू कैन से ओवरऑल पेपर थोड़ा सा उससे डिफिकल्ट ही होता है. Z पेपर वुड बी हाई. यश गुड इवनिंग. इट विल बी ऑफ 165 minutes followed by 15 minutes of GK. So after 165 minutes they'll take the answer sheet from you and then they'll give you another paper for GK that will be of 15 minutes. So GK का जो score होता है that is considered by some of the colleges. So XLRI definitely considers it. ठीक है. तो वो उसमें आपके स्कोर कार्ड में बेसिकली दे डोंट कंसीडर इट व्हाइल कैलकुलेटिंग योर ओवरऑल परसेंटाइल एंड ऑल. ठीक है. वो अलग से स्कोर लिखा हुआ होगा. दैट विल बी कंसीडर्ड बाय देम इफ दे वांट टू. इफ दे डोंट वांट टू दे विल नॉट बी कंसीडर्ड. ठीक है. हाँ, आई विल कम टू दैट. यस. सो हम लोग आज बात कर रहे हैं, पहला सेशन है जेट का, तो उसके बारे में पूरी ही बात कर लेते हैं. सो नाउ यस इज आस्किंग व्हाट इज अ सेफ अटेम्प्ट इन QA. ठीक है. ओके. गुड इवनिंग उत्कर्ष शानू. सो सेफ अटेम्प्ट की अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूं, दो यू कांट से दैट व्हाट इज अ सेफ अटेम्प्ट बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यू ऑल नो दैट डिफिकल्टी लेवल कीप चेंजिंग. सो वी कांट से व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज सेफ अटेम्प्ट. बट यस, आई कैन श्योरली टेल यू वन थिंग. वो ये कि एज फार एज ज़ेड इज कंसर्न, difficulty levels slightly vary. Sometimes it becomes more difficult, sometimes become a bit easy, but generally in quantitative ability I think 10 to 12 is always a safe attempt and 10 to 12 will take you to around 95 percentile in my opinion. Okay. So generally the cutoff is also around this. So nowadays I hope you know about XLRI. They have 2 courses. So one is the normal PG DBM और एक दूसरा होता है दैट इज फॉर HR. एक होता है बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट, द अदर वन इज ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज. सो बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट का जो कट ऑफ है दैट विल बी स्लाइटली हायर, HR वुड बी स्लाइटली लोअर एंड दे गिव कट ऑफ्स अकॉर्डिंग टू मेल्स एंड फीमेल्स. फॉर मेल्स देयर इज अ सेपरेट कट ऑफ, फीमेल्स के लिए सेपरेट कट ऑफ है. एंड इन HR दे फर्दर बाइफरकेटेड इनटू इंजीनियर्स एंड नॉन इंजीनियर्स. So HR में there would be 4 different type of cutoffs. One would be male engineers, one would be female engineers, male non-engineers and female non-engineers, that ways. So there is a slight difference between all of them. So I would primarily say that for PGDBM generally the cutoff would be somewhere around 93 to 95 percentile. And for HR it will be generally around 90 to 92 percentile. These are the normal cutoffs for these, right? So for this 93 to 95 percentile, I think 36 to 38 is a good score. For this 90 to 92 percentile, I think 30 to 32 is a good score. But again, you can't say that this is the reality because we don't know how much, what will be the level of the exam this year. There have been years when you got 95 percentile at a score of 40, when the paper was too easy. And there have been years when you got a percentile of 95 at 30, when the paper was too difficult. But generally, it remains around this. इसके आसपास रहता है. You can say this. Okay. Yes, this is what I'm talking about for XLRI. यश, ये XLRI के लिए है. There are other colleges as well, उनके लिए अलग अलग होता है. This is for this. कैट के लिए फेब में कोई कोर्स स्टार्ट होगा? डेफिनेटली ही होगा सिद्धांत, पक्का ही होगा, ये श्योर है. टिप्स एंड शॉर्टकट्स फॉर दीज टॉपिक्स, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स. आई विल कम टू दैट अविनाश नाउ कि कौन से टॉपिक्स हमारे लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो इफ आई टॉक अबाउट दैट, दिस ईयर there were 22 questions of QA and there were 6 questions I think of DI, because QA DI इकट्ठा ही आता है. So out of these 22 questions, so most of the questions were from arithmetic. So if I'm not wrong, around 8 questions were there from arithmetic. 8 or 6, that was the number. I mean, we are going to discuss these questions, so you'll get to know by yourself. So unlike CAT, they do not ask you a lot of algebra. So algebra बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं था. I think 3 or 4 questions were there from algebra. There are questions from number system as well. 3-4 questions approximately from number system as well. And they ask you questions from permutation, combination and set theory as well. So I think around 4-5 questions were on these as well. Geometry pe they ask you a lot many questions, I think around 6. So their main focus is again on arithmetic, just like CAT, but not on as much on algebra as CAT is concerned about. So CAT pe kafi they would be asking you algebra and all, but they don't ask you this much of algebra. They ask you about a lot of arithmetic. So you have to be good at arithmetic, and keep this in mind that most of the questions from arithmetic are easy as well. So arithmetic is again one area to look forward to. And if you are good at permutation, combination, set theory, usme mostly people are not very comfortable with that. So I would say if you are good at that, definitely you would be able to have an edge over the other people, right? Avinash, how can we judge the toughness in the exam? Obviously, if you are not able to do it, it is tough. Avinash, everyone knows about themselves. So if you are generally not very good in quantitative abilities, obviously you would be knowing about yourself that while doing the questions, if I'm not able to do it, so this is the general phenomenon with me, or I normally am able to solve the questions, then I'll get to know. So mocks वगैरह practice questions इसीलिए होते हैं, so that you can get to know that what makes a question difficult, what is an easy question, how do I get to know about this. How to target QA, just prepare for it. Yes, nothing else, you can do it. We'll be talking about the strategy though now. इसके बाद हम लोग बात करेंगे. DI in XAT is pretty out of the line, means अजीब सी. Yes, sometimes it is very अजीब. You are right that ways. And not only in XAT, even in IFT, sometimes DI is quite tough, but not all the times. I mean, you will have to see this, attempt it, only then you will get to know कि कैसा आया इस बार. Can we attempt 6 DI which can be take time more gettable? No, Avinash. That's not the right strategy. You should never go with such a strategy. चलो ठीक है, सारे DI कर डालेंगे या फिर सारा arithmetic कर डालेंगे. You never know what is going to be difficult this year, what is going to be gettable, what is going to be not gettable. So उसके लिए इस तरह की strategy लेके कभी नहीं चलते कि चलो ठीक है ये फोड़ आएंगे जाके तो इससे बात बन जाएगी. Don't do that. In QA, around 10 questions with 100% accuracy, 5 with 90% and none with less than 80% accuracy. Your opinion, the moderator. Okay, I did not get your point though. 10 questions with 100% accuracy and 5 with 90% and none with less than, मतलब I didn't get this. No questions with less than 80% accuracy का क्या मतलब हुआ? I didn't get your point. थोड़ा clearly लिखिए शायद. So how many mocks one must give on the basis of XAT? I would say at least 5 mocks everyone should appear for, है ना? ठीक है जी, तो चलिए हम आगे बढ़ते हैं on the QA section now. Let's start discussing the QA section. So obviously the target is to understand the strategy of doing the QA section. तो एक बार उसको करना शुरू करते हैं. Avinash, that will be too general a question. It will take a lot of time. So we'll obviously digress from our topic. So let's come to this first. पहले इसके बारे में बात करते हैं. So I will be showing you the complete section. Then we'll be talking about the section that which all questions were to be attempted. which all were not to be attempted, what clears the cutoff for you, what not. So उसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे होंगे, ठीक है. Okay जी, so before I start, so let me just talk about myself first. I mean, this is the process we have to follow. Okay, I am Saral Nashier. I am a quant and DI teacher for last 16 plus years now. But the important part for you for this session is, it's not 100 percentile of CAT. It is about the 99.99 percentile of XAT, which I have scored in QA. And mind you, they do not give you 100 percentile. The largest possible percentile in XAT is 99.9. 1 year they gave percentile in 3 digits. So the largest percentile that year was 99.999. It was not 100, right? So generally in QA section in XAT, you will find 5-6 people on 99.99, but on 99.999 you will have only one person who is the topper. So that year I scored 99.999 as well. So I can say I was rank 1 in QA that particular year, right? So 99.99 I have scored at least 4 or 5 times in XAT. I have the scorecards with me. And for IFT as well, I have scored 100% in the section of QA or IFT. So for all these years, I have taught 10,000 plus students and many teachers as well. I have told you about the schedule of these classes, that we'll have 5 classes on XAT right from today, every day at 7 PM till Friday. And next week we'll be having about IFT. So just be there. I think these sessions will help you a lot to increase your score in these exams. I'm very sure of that. Okay, so I'll come to that now. ठीक है जी. अच्छा, Kartikeya has a question. Is there separate cutoff for DI and Quant? No, Kartikeya, there is a single cutoff. Okay. What is the score required for 99.9? For 99.9, I think, Abhishek, if you do somewhere around 18 to 20 questions out of total 28 questions, you might get 99.9 in my opinion. Chaliye ji. So let's start doing these questions. So if you look at this first question, so this would look like a question from any normal banking or clerical exam. उसमें generally इस तरह के questions आते हैं. Extremely simple. That this symbol means a plus b cross b. You have to find out this value. So obviously this will mean 5 plus 2 cross 2. पहले ये बना लेंगे हम लोग और फिर ये symbol into 5 है. So this gives you 14. So 14 this symbol into 5. So it is 14 plus 5 into 5. So 95 becomes the correct answer. So I put this question in the category of super easy. नहीं? It's a super easy question. मतलब ये easy से भी थोड़ा सा आगे चला जाएगा. It will be a super easy question. So and who would not do such a question? See, देखिए ऐसा नहीं कर सकते आप that just by looking at the question you can figure out whether the question is difficult or easy. You will have to read it. You will have to try it once, right? The best part about XAT is that you have a lot of time to do that. ठीक है? CAT में there we fumble that we do not have so much of time. So I remember, because I'm good at quant with respect to verbal ability. So in XAT I would spend a lot of time in quantitative ability in LR rather than spending time on English and DM. Moreover, they take lesser time. So if I'm doing a VARC section, that might take 30-35 minutes. Decision making might take 30-35 minutes. Then after that I see that I am left with more than an hour for one quant section. And number of questions is around 26-28. So वो तो काफी ज़्यादा हो जाता है ना questions करने के लिए. So therefore you can read all the questions easily, बिल्कुल easily पढ़ के, and then you can answer those questions. That is quite possible in case of XAT. So this first question I keep in the category of super easy, and I would say that everyone should do this question without a hitch. है ना? ये तो possible ही नहीं कि आप ना करो. Next. Now this looks a very long question, and I have seen this that in case of XAT as well as IFT, there are many long questions, which is not normally in the case of CAT. So if you have appeared for CAT just now on CAT 29th, you must have seen that the number of long question is not high. ऐसे बहुत सारे questions नहीं होते हैं CAT में. Generally we have very less questions which are having a lot of statements. In XAT and IFT that's very common. Right? So in CAT, I would say the moment you see a long question, leave it. Even if it is easy, At the first round, leave it because it will take time to read it. In XAT, I would say always try this because you have a lot of time, right? So possibly if the question is easy, so you will do it. If you find it difficult, move ahead. But you should always read all these questions, right? So let's try this question once. Two friends Ram and Shyam start at the same point at the same time. Ram travels straight north at a speed of 10. So Ram is traveling north at a speed of 10. While Shyam travels straight east at a speed of Ram. So that twice the speed of Ram. So he is running at a speed of 20. After 15 minutes, Shyam messages Ram that he is just passing by a large telephone tower. तो ये Shyam इधर जा रहा है. Ram is going in this direction. So after 15 minutes, so can I say in 15 minutes, Shyam would have covered 5 kilometers and Ram would have covered 2.5 kilometers, right? 15 minutes means 1/4 of an hour. So वो 20 का 1/4 और वो 10 का 1/4. He says Shyam messages that he is crossing a telephone tower. So this is a telephone tower. And after another 15 minutes, Ram messages Shyam that he is just passing by an old banyan tree. So another 15 minutes matlab another 5 kilometers. For him it is another 2.5 kilometers. Now he is passing through a banyan tree. So we have a banyan tree here. After some more time has elapsed, Ram and Shyam stop. They stop at the same point of time. थोड़ा सा point और चले तो दोनों के दोनों एक ही जब point पे आके रुक गए. If the straight line distance between Ram and Shyam now is 50 kilometers, so this distance is given to us as 50 kilometers. How far is Shyam from the banyan tree? So how far is Shyam from the banyan tree? That means this is the distance that we have to calculate, right? So the distance that we have to calculate, for that we know the perpendicular is 5. We know the base is 10 plus something. We just have to calculate that plus something. So rather than calculating this x, let's call, can I say this whole thing is, let us say a, then this whole thing would be 2a, because the speed of Shyam is twice the speed of Ram, right? अगर वो a बनेगा तो ये 2a बनना चाहिए. And by that I can say a square plus 2a का square is equal to 50 का square. That is 5a square is 2500. So I think a is equal to 10 root 5. A is equal to 10 root 5. So now we have to figure out this question mark. तो question mark कैसे मिलेगा? The question mark square is equal to perpendicular square, that is 5 square, plus base square. Base square is 20 root 5 square. Right? So 5 square is 25 and 20 root 5 square is 2000. So question mark का square आ गया 2025. So the question mark is square root of 2025 and square root of 2025 is option A. So option A should be the correct answer. Right? Now a lot of I would say calculation is involved in this question, and because of that you might say that the question is difficult, but let me tell you, this question is not difficult. This is an easy level question, definitely not a difficult question. Some calculations are involved, that is okay, but the only thing that we have used twice is Pythagoras theorem. Is there any other concept apart from Pythagoras theorem? No. And let me tell you, every year XAT asks you a question where time, speed, distance and geometry are used both in the same question. Every year they do that. Okay, that's a very common phenomenon that they have done. So you can look at the previous year papers as well. We'll be discussing them later on, but I think you can understand it from that. That's a common type of question that they ask every year. So now if you ask me about this question, I would rate this question again in the category of easy to moderate, right? Moderate probably मैं इसलिए बोल दे रहा हूँ because the question is lengthy, the calculations are a bit lengthy. Otherwise the question is not difficult. Conceptually the question is very easy, should have been done by each and every one of you in my opinion. So this is the second question, I think, right? Okay, so let's move forward to the next question now, that is question number 3. Okay, let's talk about this question. Okay, it says Nalini has received a total of 600 WhatsApp messages from 4 friends, Anita, Beena, Chaitra and Divya. Okay. Bina and Divya have respectively sent 30% and 20% of those messages, while Anita has sent an equal number of messages, etc. Moreover, Nalini finds that Anita's, Bina's, Chitra's and Divya's messages, these percentages are jokes. What percentages of the jokes by Nalini have been sent neither by Divya nor by Bina? While reading the question itself, I think we get an idea that what exactly is to be done in this question, right? So, and it is directly a percentages based question. We just have to do percentages, nothing else is to be done. Percentages का direct इसमें use होने वाला है. So let us use it straight away. She received 600 WhatsApp chat messages from her 4 friends A, B, C, D. So A, B, C and D. Bina and Divya have sent 30 and 20%, 30% and 20%. While Anita has sent an equal number of messages, etc. So basically 50% are remaining. उस 50 में से 25 Anita और Chitra ने भेज दिए. Moreover, Nalini finds that the Anitas, Bina's, Chitra's and Divya's messages 60%, 40, 18, 50 are jokes. So 60% of Anita's, that means 15%. 40% of Bina's, that is 12%. 80% of Chitra's, that is 20%. And 50% of Divya, that is 10%. These are jokes. This has been told to us. Next, what percentage of the jokes received by Nalini have sent neither by Divya nor by Bina? So how many jokes have been received by Nalini? 15 plus 12, 27 plus 30 is 57%. Out of which, how many have been sent neither by Divya nor by Bina? That means either by A or by C, which is 35%. So basically the question is asking you that 35% is what percentage of 57%? 35% is what percentage of 57%, right? So see, if I calculate 2/3 of this, 2/3 of this will come out to be 38%. 2/3 होता है 66.66. So कह रहे हैं my answer is smaller than that, right? 66.6 से छोटा है. And if I calculate 60% of this 57, 6 sevens are 42 and 34. तो answer 60 से बड़ा है. So my answer is more than 60, less than 66.66. So I can say my answer is option C. So C should be the correct answer. So if you ask me about the difficulty level of this question, I would rate this as an easy question. It is not even moderate. It is a simple percentages level, basic level question. Should be an easy question, should not be considered as moderate according to me. Yes, Abhishek Mohapatra, correct, 61.4%, right answer. And first of all, let me tell you guys that these are the questions from the actual exam. So आप ऐसे समझिए that we are right now doing an actual exam only, है ना? Yeah, I understand that the confidence level in the actual exam, that nervousness which is there, obviously that is not here. So there are a lot many other fears as well which are currently not there. But yes, the questions are the same. The level of questions is not going to change. These are the questions that we are going to talk about. Okay. Okay, so let me move on to the next question now. Question number 4. I mean, you can again look at the length of the question, right? It is more of an RC, I would say. Nahin? It is such a lengthy question. So let's read this once. As I told you, reading to important hai. A man is laying stones from start to end along the two sides of a 200-meter walkway. So there is a 200-meter walkway and on two sides. So यहाँ भी रख रहा है और यहाँ भी रख रहा है. The stones are to be laid 5 meters apart from each other. Okay, so basically every 5 meters we have to put some stones. और दोनों साइड पे यहाँ भी. When he begins, all the stones are present at the start of the walkway. So all stones are present at the start of it. He places the first stone on each side at the walkway start. For all the other stones, the man lays the stones first along one of the walkway sides, then along the other side in an exactly similar fashion. However, he can carry only one stone at a time. So basically, he'll go put one stone and come back. Then he'll go on the other side, put one stone and come back. Right? So this is how he's doing. To lay each stone, the max walks to the spot, lays the stone, then walks back to pick another. After laying all the stones, the man walks back to the start, which marks the end of his work. So finally, जब वो यहाँ पे last stone रख देगा, he'll again go back to the start to complete the work. What is the total distance that the man walks in executing this work? So again, I see the question's length is quite high, right? But the kind of question which is there, that is simple. It is not a difficult question. And yes, most of you are saying it's an AP series. That's correct. It's an AP series. So first of all, he'll have to go 5 and then come back 5, right? 5 jana, 5 wapas aana. He would be covering 10 meters here and 10 over here. So can I say he would be covering 20? This is 5, this is 5, then this is 5 and this is 5. So that is 20. For the second stone, he'll have to go 10, come back 10. Then again he'll have to go 10 and come back 10. So ultimately he would be covering 40 and then 60 and then 80. So for lastly, he'll have to cover 200, come back 200, again go 200, come back 200. So this series will go up to 800. It's an AP series starting from 20, going to 800 with a common difference of 20. Simple. Common difference of 20. So we know the formula for it, right? N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, वो use कर लीजिए. Or you can take 20 common. So ultimately it would become sum of first 40 natural numbers, right? So sum of first 40 natural numbers is 40 into 41 divided by 2. And then we have 20 outside. When you solve it, I think it gives you option A as your answer. So 16,400 meters is the correct answer. Right? So what do you say? Where should I put this question now? कौन सी कैटेगरी में रखूं? इजी में, मॉडरेट में, डिफिकल्ट में? आई डेफिनेटली फील नॉट डिफिकल्ट. ठीक है, मेरे ख्याल से तो ये इजी में जाना चाहिए, बट आई मीन यू माइट हैव अ डिफरेंट ओपिनियन. अभिषेक महापात्रा, युगांश, स्नेह, द मॉडरेटर, गजू, कार्तिकेय, क्या कहते हैं? वेयर शुड इट गो? इजी, डिफिकल्ट, वेरी इजी, मॉडरेट और व्हाट? यस, अभिषेक वर्मा, यश मित्तल, व्हाट डू यू से गाइस? वेयर शुड इट गो? अविनाश, क्या लग रहा है? Abhishek Verma says easy. Even I feel it should be an easy question. I mean, as I told you that from the perspective of XAT, we have to say we have a lot of time. Abhishek Mohapatra says easy. Yugansh says difficult. Yugansh, difficult तो नहीं है यार. I don't feel it is difficult. हाँ, it might be moderate for some people who are not very comfortable with the concept of AP, but it is definitely lying in the category of easy to moderate as per me and as per many of you. Yes, Sneh says easy, Prateek is also saying easy, Rahul says easy. So even I feel it should be in the category of an easy question. Vikram is saying easy, Vedant, Siddhi. Okay, so yes, we have too many answers now. Siddhi says too long. Yeah, I mean it is long to read, right? But not very long to solve it. उसमें ज़्यादा लेंदे नहीं है. चलिए जी, great guys. So let's move forward to question number 5 now. This looks a simple, a smaller question, not simple. Simple तो पता लगेगा अभी है कि नहीं है. We'll see that. ठीक है? But it is definitely smaller. A rectangular swimming pool is 50 meters long and 25 meters wide. Its depth is always the same along its width, but linearly increases along its length from 1 meter at one end to 4 meters at the other end. How much water is needed to completely fill the pool? It's a simple question based upon the volume of a cuboid, nothing else, right? A swimming pool is there 50 by 25. So इस तरह का swimming pool हो गया. It is 50 by 25. This is 50, this is 25. And it is 1 meter deep at one end and 4 meters deep at the other end. So एक end पे तो है ये 1 meter deep. So this is the depth. At the other end it is 4 meters deep. So this is the depth at the other end. So this is the kind of pool that we have here, right? ऐसा सा बन जाएगा ना? And we have to find the volume of this. So see, for the volume of a cuboid, we have a direct method if you remember that. ठीक है? The volume, the area of the base multiplied by the height. So I can say that this is actually a cuboid with a base of a trapezium. ये trapezium देखिए, यहाँ पे trapezium बना हुआ है ना, 1/50/4 ये हमें पता नहीं जितना भी है, we don't want to know. I hope you remember that area of a trapezium कैसे निकालते हैं? Area of a trapezium is half of the sum of the two parallel sides multiplied by the height. Half of the sum of the two parallel sides multiplied by the height. So this gives me 50 into 5, 250 by 2, that is 125. And this 125 is to be multiplied by this, जितनी भी लेंथ इसकी आपको दी हुई है, ठीक है. So half of this and this into 25. So this should be our answer according to this. So नहीं, कुछ तो मिस्टेक की है मैंने इसमें. A rectangular swimming pool is 50 meters long and 25 meters wide. Its depth is always the same along its width. So 5/2 125 ही आएगा. हाँ, तो 125 into 25 ठीक तो है. 3125, मैं ऐसे ही डर रहा हूँ. 3125 is the correct answer. Yes. And that again a very simple question. I mean, मेरे दिमाग में आया 125 into 25 is 625. So I thought none of the options is 625. I thought I am doing something wrong. This happens in the exam as well many times. So I remember once in CAT I started doing this, that 2 into 4 is 6. And I checked it again and again, but every time 2 into 4 remained 6 for me. That happens. Okay, yes, 3125, Sneh, Abhishek, Mohapatra, Prateek, Rayuz, Karan, सभी लोगों ने सही कर लिया है. Absolutely. Rather, there is another way of looking at it. The way I look at it, I'll tell you that as well. एक बार बताता हूँ. Possibly you might feel good about it. I generally feel that this depth is 1, this depth is 4. So can I just take the midpoint of this depth और इसको थोड़ा सा यहाँ से इसकी डेप्थ बढ़ा देते हैं और वहां से उसकी डेप्थ कम कर देते हैं. So wouldn't it become a cuboid then? I mean, this is the cuboid I am talking about now. कि इस cuboid का जो वॉल्यूम होगा वही तो वॉल्यूम होगा. So it was kind of a seesaw. At one point the depth was 4, at one point the depth was 1. I am saying उस seesaw को सीधा कर दो. So दोनों साइड पे डेप्थ कितनी होगी? 1 plus 4/2, that is 2.5. So अगर मैं ऐसा कर दूं तो डेप्थ 2.5 हो गई. Now it is straight away a cuboid of 25 into 50 into 2.5. This is your answer. Though ultimately that only comes, but this is just a way of looking at it. That is, seesaw has been straightened and we see it becomes a complete cuboid now with a depth of 2.5. I hope this is clear, right? Now, I would say, I mean, this question again comes in the category of an easy question. See, one thing is for sure, if you have practiced for such questions, if you have prepared for the exam, you will find it easy. But obviously you can't say that one day suddenly started doing QA questions after long and then you say, no, ये तो easy है ही नहीं. It will be easy for a person who is preparing for the exams because these are the basic level questions that you do in mensuration. So it definitely should come under the category of an easy question. Abhishek Mohapatra agrees with me. Others? Should I say it will be an easy question? Vedant says moderate. तो easy to moderate में डाल दें क्या वेदांत? हैं? वेदांत moderate कह रहे हैं, अभिषेक easy कह रहे हैं. Others, what do you say? रयूज, करण, प्रतीक क्या कहते हैं? स्नेह, राहुल, युगांश, what do you say guys? क्या होना चाहिए? easy, difficult में से क्या लग रहा है? विक्रम gives a green signal. I think that means easy. Siddhi also says easy to moderate. Saifuddin is saying easy. हाँ, मतलब opinions differ, but no one can say it's a difficult question, है ना? इसमें तो आप सब agree कर रहे हो. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next, again, see, such a lengthy question. Two lighthouses located at points A and B on Earth are 60 and 40 feet tall respectively. So बना लेते हैं. One is 60 feet tall. One is 40 feet tall. These are the two lighthouses. Each lighthouse is perfectly vertical and the land connecting A and B is perfectly flat. So this is a flat face and these are vertical, means they are making an angle of 90 degrees. The topmost point of lighthouse A is A dash and that of lighthouse B is B dash. इसका B dash है, उसका A dash. Draw the line segment A dash B. Okay, so this was B and this was A. So draw the line segment A dash B. A dash B means this. And B dash A. B dash A means this. And let them intersect at C dash. So this is C dash. Drop a perpendicular from C dash to the earth at C. तो यहाँ से perpendicular डाल दीजिए C. What is the length for C dash in feet? So I have done this question, this trick many a times. If you have done it, I think this will be a super easy question for all of you. People who have prepared, they must be knowing about this. There is a direct shortcut for this question. The shortcut is, it is 60 into 40 divided by 60 plus 40, that is 24. So 24 is the right answer. Whenever two perpendiculars are there and the top of those perpendiculars are joined with the bottom of the perpendiculars or foot of the perpendiculars, yes, ladder rule you can say, Vikram, then their intersection point is always A into B upon A plus B distance from the ground. It's a direct rule and such a question has been asked in CAT as well before. CAT में भी पहले पूछा गया है क्वेश्चन इसी तरह का. Easy with average depth concept. Okay, Pratik, I think you are talking about previous question. Kanika is also saying easy about that. Rahul is saying easy. Rayu says, okay, this question is super easy. Abhishek says super easy because he knows the rule probably. Right, Abhishek? If you know the rule, this question is easy for you. If you don't know the rule, obviously you will keep looking for other aspects and then it will become difficult for a person. Okay. Yes, so let's move forward now from this question. Question number 7. Again a lengthy question. Too many lengthy questions. XYZ start a web-based venture together. X invest 2.5 lakhs, Y invest 3.5 lakhs, Z invest 4 lakhs in the first year. The venture makes a profit of 2 lakhs. A part of the profit is shared between Y and Z in the ratio of 2:3. And the remaining profit is divided among X, Y, Z in the ratio of their initial investments. The amount that Z receives is 4 times the amount that X receives. How much amount does Y? I mean, by looking at the question, I can say this is not a difficult question for sure. Easy है या moderate ये करके पता चलेगा. When he says a part of the profit is shared, so here comes a variable. And that variable will be solved using this line. तो ये simple सा rule है. So first of all, what are the ratio of their investments? It is 2.5 is to 3.5 is to 4. Double कर देते हैं. So 5 is to 7 is to 8 is the ratio of their investments. They have a profit of 2 lakhs. A profit of part of this is shared between Y and Z. वो part में मान लेता हूं X. So X is shared between Y and Z in a ratio of 2:3. तो 5x ना मान लूं. I mean, if I take it as 5x, तो 2:3 आराम से निकल जाएगा ना. So 5x में से 2x will be given to Y and 3x will be given to Z, right? And the remaining profit, remaining is 2 minus 5x, will be divided among X, Y, Z in the ratio of their investments, which is 5:7:8. उस ratio में बाकी बचा हुआ divide हो जाएगा. Amount that Z receives is 4 times the amount that X receives. तो ये भी ठीक है. Let's figure out first of all what is the amount that X receives. X will receive 2 minus 5x में से 5 by 5 plus 7 plus 8, that is 20. 1/4 हो गया इसका ये. So he will receive 1 by 2 minus 5x by 4. Let's see how much Z receives. Z receives 2 minus 5x का 8 by 20 plus 3x that he has already received. So he has received 8 by 20 का मतलब है 2 by 5. So 4 by 5 minus 2x plus 3x, or you can say 4 by 5 plus x. The question says the amount that Z receives is 4 times the amount that X receives. अब Z ने कितना रिसीव किया है ये और X ने रिसीव किया है ये. He says जो Z रिसीव कर रहा है it is 4 times of that amount. So this 4 by 5 plus X is 4 times of 1 by 2 minus 5x by 4. तो देखिए जरा कितना आता है. 4 by 5 plus x is equal to 2 minus 5x. तो 6x is equal to 2 minus 4 by 5. 2 minus 4 by 5 guys हो जाएगा 10 minus 6 by 5. तो यहां से x की वैल्यू मेरी 1 by 5 आ रही है. the value of x is coming out to be 1 by 5, and if value of x comes out to be 1 by 5, that means this is 1 lakh, nothing else. And out of this 1 lakh, y को कितना मिलने वाला है? y को मिलने वाला है 7 by 20 of this 1 lakh, प्लस y को पहले से कितना मिल चुका है? 2x, that is 2 into 1 by 5. इन दोनों को ऐड कर देते हैं, we'll get what is the amount that is received by y. तो 7 by 20 plus 8 by 20, that is 15 by 20, or 3 by 4 lakhs. 3 by 4 lakhs is 75,000. So D option should be the answer. But this was a lengthy question. We should have avoided this question. Though again I would say not a difficult question, but definitely lengthy. Okay? Because of being lengthy, I would say it should come in the category of a moderate question. It is not difficult because it does not require any specific kind of concept that we do not know already. Concept वही है जो हमें पहले से पता है. So उसकी वजह से मैं इसको difficult नहीं बोल पाऊंगा. Right? What do you guys say? Difficult, easy कैसा लग रहा है आपको इसमें? जरा फटाफट बताइए. Abhishek got the answer as 75 and he says easy to moderate. Prateek also got the right answer. Easy से moderate में क्या महसूस होता है? What do you say guys? Give me your opinion. Siddhi saying moderate. Saifuddin, okay, can you explain this? I'll explain again, Mohammed. Yes, Rashik, I'll do that. So let me just explain it again. एक बार ध्यान से देखते हैं. First of all, XYZ are having their investments in a ratio of 2.5, 3.54. That makes the ratio 578. I just doubled it. He says out of the 2 lakh profit, he has initially taken out some portion and given to Y and Z. और वो दिया है 2:3 के रेशो में. Because 2:3 का रेशो था, so therefore I have taken that amount as 5x. x की बजाय 5x ले लिया, 2:3 में आराम से डिवाइड हो जाएगा. So from that 5x, 2x will go to Y and 3x will go to Z. What is left? 2 minus 5x. This 2 minus Yeah, I think the internet went off in between. Am I audible now? Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, I think the internet went off in between. Am I audible now? Yes. Okay. ठीक है जी. हाँ जी. So I was talking about that X has got 5 by 20 out of that remaining amount. Z has got 8 by 20 of that remaining amount, but 3x as well because that he got earlier. Now the question says that Z का share is 4 times that of X का share. From there we got the value of X. और X मिल गया तो we got to know about Y's share, that what is total share of Y. This is what the question is asking us. Yes, I hope this is clear now. We can move forward as we have considered this question as moderate. अभिषेक भी कह रहे हैं लेंदी बट सॉल्वेबल. प्रतीक कहते हैं इजी बट लेंदी. रियू सेज मस्ट सॉल्व. राहुल सेज इजी. इजी आई वुड प्रोबेबली नॉट से कि इजी है, बट यस थोड़ा लेंदी तो है. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड गाइस टू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. ओके, so when I looked at this question first, so looking at the options, I feel that nee, I'll not be doing this question, right? Many of you would be feeling this. Nee. The options are saying this is not doable, right? Look at this. When expressed in a decimal form, which of the following numbers will be non-terminating as well as non-repeating? So aren't these numbers irrational? जो non-terminating और non-repeating हो वो irrational है. So basically question आपसे ये पूछ रहा है which of the following is irrational. So I first of all looked at this. Pi by 2 into 1 by pi is actually 1 by 2 plus 1 into pi by 2 is pi by 2 and minus pi by 2. So ultimately ये तो rational हो गया. Not my answer, right? After this I did not check option B because it looks long. I checked C. Root 2 into 3 root 2 that is equal to 6 minus 4 by root 2 into root 2 that is 4 plus root 3. It is irrational. That's my answer. So I found this question super easy because of the kind of options. I did not have to check other options. I straight away got the answer from this. Probably the options were looking very dangerous, है ना? साइन स्क्वायर ऑफ 1 डिग्री, साइन स्क्वायर ऑफ 2 डिग्री, ऐसा करके क्यूब रूट ऑफ 7 to 9 अपॉन 3, पाई में एक सीरीज देके इन्फिनिट सीरीज बना दी है. सो दिस लुक्स डेंजरस, है ना. So at the face of it, it looks difficult, but actually this question was super easy because of the options which are given to us. And obviously these are the actual options. I have not designed them. So therefore I would say this again was an easy question in that paper that should have been done. Right? This question must have been done by each and everyone. Right? So इसमें तो probably Abhishek we could not have put the values, I think. नहीं, इसमें वैल्यूज कैसे पुट कर पाते, इसमें तो नहीं कर पाते. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 9. सो दिस लुक्स लाइक अ लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन नाउ, ठीक है, बट दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन. नाउ द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज इफ आई लुक एट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस टिल नाउ गाइस, जस्ट एक बार ध्यान से देखिए. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इजी, सेकंड क्वेश्चन इजी टू मॉडरेट, third question easy, fourth question easy to moderate, fifth question easy to moderate, sixth question super easy, next question is moderate, next question is super easy. So till now we have done 8 questions. Out of these only one is of moderate category, all other 7 questions are easy to moderate category. And this year at around 10 to 12 questions you will get 95 percentile in quant. And I told you na, for XLRI BM course, BM ki cutoffs are higher than that of HR. For BM course, for the males, I mean for the best course and for the highest possible cutoff for QA was 85 percentile. So that 85 percentile will lie somewhere around 8 to 9 questions. Right? We have done 7 questions straight away from the first 8 questions. Still 14 questions of QA are remaining and 6 questions of DI are remaining. So that is, I mean, and this is after we having this much of time. 165 minutes were there with each and every one. Still, the cutoff of XAT, it can always be cleared at a very easy level if you just figure out the easier questions out of this. आप देखिए हमने 7 questions easy निकाल लिए हैं. We will find 1 or 2 again, मतलब ahead as well. तो वो निकालने के बाद मेरी कम से कम कट ऑफ क्लियर हो गई. If you want to maximize your score, you are good in QA, do QA. Do 17-18 questions, maximize your score here. Because the total cutoff of XLRI generally lies around 35 to 36 questions for, I am saying, XLRI BM. So you can do 17-18 questions in quant. After that, do just I think 10 to 12 questions in verbal ability, 10 to 12 questions in decision making. If you have 90% accuracy, you are through. It's as simple as this, not very difficult, right? So we're running out of time because we initially talked about XAT a bit. So 7:54, it's already there. So I'll not take much of your time. I just wanted to give you an idea. So there are some more easier questions. As a question, I'll not do this. There are too many informations, right? Then after that, if I look at this question, I'll not do this. Options are telling me this is not doable because सब calculate करने पड़ेंगे. This is question which is difficult, not doable, not doable. I mean, now this is one kind of question which you will attempt if you are comfortable with the questions which are based upon probability. However, this is not a question of probability, but the proportion of defective balls is actually more or less like a probability only, which is he's talking about. So it's very person specific. आपको proportion पसंद है, आप ये try करेंगे, नहीं पसंद है, नहीं करेंगे. That kind of question is this, right? So this was another easy question, right? If you try this question, you will find it. This is another easy question. We have discussed this before as well in some of the sessions, if I remember correctly, which could have been done by easily by each and everyone. Let's do this, है ना? हमारे पास टाइम तो कम है, लेकिन ये कर लेते हैं फटाफट हम लोग. So I hope 5-7 मिनट और दे सकते हैं ना? Just stay with me for 5-7 minutes for. उसके बाद एक बार खत्म कर देंगे सेशन को. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this question. 6 drums are used to store water. 5 drums are of equal capacity, while the 6th one has double the capacity of these 5 drums. So 5 drums are there and there is 6th drum. इसकी कैपेसिटी डबल है, इनकी कैपेसिटी 111 है, इसकी कैपेसिटी 2 है. On one morning 3 drums are found half full and 2 are found 2/3 full and 1 is found completely full. It is attempted to transfer all the water to the smaller drums. How many smaller drums are adequate to store the water? See, this question is telling us कि एक उस दिन हुआ क्या, 3 were found half full and 2 were found 2/3 full and 1 was found completely full, right? I'll try to figure out the maximum possible quantity that could have been there and minimum possible quantity. Maximum possible का मतलब ये है जो full है वो ये ले लेते हैं, right? That is 2. और इनमें से 2 2/3 ले लेते हैं, 2 times 2/3 हो जाएगा तो 4/3 हो जाएगा. और इनमें से 3 हाफ लेते हैं, 3 times हाफ होगा तो 3/2 हो जाएगा. सो द टोटल कैपेसिटी वुड बिकम हाउ मच? एलसीएम ले लेते हैं 6, तो 6 लेने पे आएगा ये 9 + 8 + 12. This is equal to 29/6 liters. So this is the maximum possible quantity that can be there in all the drums together. Minimum देखते हैं. For the minimum जो full है वो तो मैं मान लेता हूं छोटे वाला ड्रम. The smaller drum is full, let's say, right? And 2/3 is also there in the smaller ones, right? So there are 2 2/3 in the smaller ones. Half में से there are 2 drums which are smaller ones. Half of 2 is 1 and half of the bigger drum. Half of the bigger drum is 1. So their total capacity becomes 3 + 4/3, that is 9 + 4, 13/3 liters. So the total capacity now becomes 13/3, that means 4.33 minimum and maximum is 4.833. So in any case, can I say I need 5 drums to fill it? The smaller ones, I need 5 drums to fill it. 4.33 and 4.833 के बीच में what do you get? You get 5 drums. So 5 but not 4. So that should be the answer, I think, option B, 5 but not 4. That's again an easy question, I would say, right? So ये तो वो easy question है which we have figured out in the initial range itself, right? There can be some questions which are doable apart from these as well. So let me tell you that in XAT, QA is one area in which you can actually maximize your score. I'll give you my example. I have done this in some of the years because when I was in some other institutes, obviously I used to do one thing. So I did not do any other section so that I do not get any calls. Why to waste calls for the students? So I just paid attention to one of the sections or 2 of the sections. So if I do, let's say 17-18 questions in quant, right? So 17-18 and some in DM, 5-6 questions in verbal ability, which is marginal. Still I might get a call from XLRI HR. The percentile sometimes rose up to 95, 96 just by doing this, the overall percentile. So that is what you can also do. People who are good at quant, they will definitely get an edge over others in case of XAT, I would say. Okay? You can definitely increase your score in quant, and because you have a lot of time as well. So these are some of the easier questions that we have discussed. Apart from these as well, we had some easier ones. So I'll tell you, जैसे ये question है. It's a straightforward question of remainders because you are dividing by 7. If you have done remainders, you will do it in a jiffy, right? Another easy question. Next might not be good for us. Next looks like a long question. Next again. And then we have a question which is based upon set theory. If you are good at set theory, you would be able to do both the question by yourself. Definitely. Okay? Anyway, so today because we talked about XAT initially, so it took us 15-16 minutes initially. Otherwise, we would have done a few more questions. But tomorrow, I'll be discussing about XAT 2019. In that session, I'll be talking about it completely. ठीक है? तो हम लोग जितने questions हो पाएंगे, easier questions, वो सब discuss करेंगे. Again, we'll see that at what score, what percentile was there, and how could you achieve a score of that. Okay, so the percentile required, Vinny is asking this question. No, Vinny, the percentile required for BM is higher than that of HR. HR goes smaller. For BM, it will be around 95. For HR, it will be around 92. That is the percentile. Yes, there are some other colleges as well, XIMB, Goa Institute of Management, SPGen वगैरह, उन सब के लिए फिर अलग-अलग cases होते हैं. Okay. So that's all that I wanted to do, guys, today. So I hope you have some idea about it. So I just tell you about the CAT 2021 course that we are having. So all the teachers that are here, they are 99 plus percentilers. So we can call them toppers turned mentors. So it's a comprehensive course in which everything is included, which you see on your screen. Expert guidance by CAT toppers, day-wise study plan, live classes and quizzes, GD, VAT, PI preparation, and Gradeup community is there, in which obviously it's kind of a club of all the people who are preparing for MBA, where you get all these things, right? And we are also running courses for these non-CAT exams, IFT, TestNet, CMAT, etc. We are running a course for XAT 2021 kids decision making. This is very, very important. Let me tell you, decision making is actually the decision maker for XAT people. If you are good at it and you can improve it within a time span of 3 days, trust me, in 3 days you can improve your decision making and your score can go up from 2 to 12 in 3 days. It's a very, very important topic. Even if you are not going for this course, pay attention to this course. I mean decision making section, sorry. Do all the previous papers and do decision making. It's a very important course if you want to clear XAT, right? And these are our super subscriptions. So in a super subscription, basically you get the unlimited access to all that we have: live courses, mock tests, full syllabus would be covered, the doubt clearance and everything would be there. We have these 4 type of subscriptions: 18, 12, 6 and 3. I think many of you have already met our team. So these are the people who would be teaching you. The percentiles are along with their faces mentioned over here. The experience are clearly visible on their faces. So we can say probably we have the best team for MBA preparation in this whole industry right now, right? So that's all that I wanted to say, guys. All the very best for your XAT exam. As we say, prep smart, score better. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. I hope you like the session, and we'll be talking about the XAT paper tomorrow again at 7 o'clock at the same time. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. यस वैभव, रेगुलर क्लास होगी एज आई टोल्ड यू कि डेली 7 o'clock पे क्लास होगी. अविनाश, अगर किसी क्लास से कोई क्लैश है, यू कैन ऑलवेज चेक द रिकॉर्डेड सेशन ऑफ इट. ठीक है. ओके, गुड नाइट एवरीवन, बाय बाय.